In the end, we learned that we don't need to worry about what happens to good guys. We need to worry about what happens to bad guys. Give them second chances, no matter how many people they've killed. And if you get your shot, aka vaccine, everything will be okay. It's not a liberal movie at all. No kind of a hidden agenda at all. Just a regular movie. Don't look at the details. Just enjoy it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Adam and Tyler World. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to discuss Spider-Man No Way Home, aka I'm calling it Spider-Man No Sense Made, because it made no sense the entire movie. Not only the movie, the fact that everyone wanted to see this movie for the last 3 months. It's just been everywhere. Spider-Man, the memes, the gifs, everything, just all over the place. Where did this come from? Could someone please address that and tell me exactly right now, where would that come from? Because I have no idea. I've been a Spider-Man fan since 1994 when it was an animated series. I was just a wee little boy, and I'm just blown away with all the people that became Spider-Man fans in the last 3 months. Where were these people for the other Spider-Man movies? I get it, everybody craps on the Spider-Man movie with Amazing Spider-Man, but no one was big fans of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. People weren't even huge fans of the last 2 Spider-Man movies. But this one, for some reason, everybody's like, jump on board. Woo, 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 we're on the Spider-Man train. Hey, man, I'm just confused. I mean, that's fine. If you love Spider-Man, that's cool, but where did this come from? I didn't become like a Harry Potter fan in the last 3 months. If they came out with a new Harry Potter movie, I'm not, oh, I gotta get and go watch this. No, I've never been a Harry Potter fan. Where were these other people? It doesn't make any sense. And also, this movie was not only that, the fact that it doesn't make any sense that people became fans out of nowhere, the fact that they just crammed all these bad guys, and you got 47 Spider-Mans and 97 bad guys all just crammed into one movie. Too much, okay? It's like having a pizza. You can put pepperoni on there, cool. All right, you can put bacon. All right, that's fine. Put sausage. All right, we're getting a little heavy on the meat. Now you put bologna. You put pastrami. You put anchovies. Dude, stop. There's too much. You put too much on there. That's what they did with this movie. They put too many bad guys in this movie. There's just too many. Like, focus on one. You can't. It's like if you're trying to date 17 girls and you're just dating all of them. You get them all names mixed up and confused. You don't know who you're dating. There's too many bad guys. So this movie picks up exactly where Far From Home ended, where Spider-Man web slings, drops MJ off in a crowd of people, and then he goes off to go on his merry way, except J. Jonah Jameson pops up on the TV. Spider-Man takes a break, and then Mysterio pops up and says, the identity of Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And everybody's like, oh, they freak out. And then for some reason, when Spider-Man turns around and looks at the girl, the camera shows MJ, she's in the crowd, and all of a sudden this guy, for some reason, gets the idea like, are you Spider-Man's girlfriend? Are you Spider-Man's girlfriend? Where did that come from? Nothing he said on that TV screen would allude to the fact that MJ is Spider-Man's girlfriend, aka Peter Parker's girlfriend. Because that dude in the crowd didn't know who Peter Parker was. He was just a random dude. And all of a sudden they're like, oh my God. And then Spider-Man has to swing down, grab MJ, and they go off to his aunt's house. So then Spider-Man and his family all get arrested. All of his friends, Happy, Ned, MJ, his Aunt May, they all get arrested. And then MJ's like an attorney all of a sudden. And she's like, hey, well, you know the Fourth Amendment, you can't come in here, blah, blah, and the Fifth Amendment, blah, blah, and blah, fifth, 1, 2, fifth, plead the fifth, all that kind of stuff, Chappelle's show, and they get released, and then they have a real quick cameo of Daredevil. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, he doesn't do anything, he's just like, I'm your attorney, and then someone throws a brick through it, and he goes, and catches it, and that's supposed to be really impressive. I mean, that's cool if you're playing dodgeball, but he didn't. I'm telling you right now, he doesn't show up anywhere else in the movie. Hey man, you got bad guys everywhere. Daredevil needs to be there fighting crime, not being an attorney, okay? Priorities. Then Peter, MJ, and Ned go to school, and of course, everyone's taking pictures, just got their camera phones out, because that's all Americans do now. We just film stuff. People getting mugged and beat up, but oh, I gotta get a lot of likes and a lot of followers. It's like a Kardashian episode, just like, oh, look, filming. What are they doing? Oh, my gosh, paparazzi. Oh, my. Okay, cool. And then they didn't get accepted into college because they knew Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, for some reason. And Peter Parker's had enough of it. So he just decides, I'm going to go visit Doctor Strange. He's got the time stone. He can help me go back in time and fix all this stuff and not have to deal with it. When he gets there, there's 2 people just shoveling snow. And apparently there was some open portal and a blizzard went through and got all the snow in there. Once again, hey man, you're Doctor Strange and you got Wong there too. Fix it. Okay, you can make do all the magic stuff, and you can't make snow disappear. You can't make snow disappear. I'm gonna say it a third time. You can't make snow disappear. What kind of superpowers do you if you can't go and make snow go away? That's strange. Then Doctor Strange has to remind Peter that he no longer has the time stone. Yes, this is how confusing the MCU is at this point. People in the MCU can't even remember where the stones are, what's going on with them. How am I supposed to remember? Okay? Peter's like, oh, you can use the time stone. Doctor Strange's like, I don't have the time stone. He's like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Oh, I remember. There's a spell I could do where I can make people forget things. Okay, let's do that. Then Doctor Strange has the audacity to get mad at Peter Parker because he says, well, I mean, you did try to go to college and you gave him a call to have him reconsider. So I guess I'll do the spell to make them confused and make them lose their memory. And then Peter says, you can call the college and they can reconsider. And then Doctor Strange gets mad at him and has the audacity to be like, yes, you can call the college and they'll reconsider. Hey, Doctor Strange, that's not how it works. This isn't like you're calling a restaurant and canceling plans for your 8 o'clock dinner. You're like, I can't make it at 8 o'clock. Me and the family of 4, we're going to have to cancel on you, so you can have someone else go. No, this is college. People work their entire lives to get into college. If they say no, it's a no. Okay, you can't go, hey, I know you looked at my grades. I know I'm friends with Spiderman. I know everybody hates him right now, but would you reconsider? And they're going to go, yes, we will have you go to our college. We were thinking about not having you come, but since you made the effort to make this 30-second phone call, it makes up for all the other stuff. No, that's not how it works. Another thing that doesn't make any sense. It's the worst writing I've ever heard of in a movie in my entire life so far. It's just logic. Out the window, out the door, it's no longer here. But since we're in this movie and nothing makes sense, Peter's like, all right, cool. And he takes off to try to find the lady for admissions, finds her on a bridge, starts talking to her. Dr. Octopus shows up, almost kills the lady. Spider-Man saves her, but he only saves her because for some reason, Dr. Octopus goes with his tentacle, hits him on his chest, and all of a sudden the nanotechnology comes off of him, goes on to the tentacles, and Dr. Octopus is first like, oh, this is really cool. You've impressed me. All of a sudden, Spider-Man is in control of Dr. Octopus. When did this become a thing? Okay, I get the nanotechnology, but now you're on top of it. Now you can control everything? What? Then Green Goblin shows up, tosses one of his little bombs, and right before it explodes, Doctor Strange somehow, without doing little sparklies, makes Peter Parker and Doctor Strange show up in his dungeon down below in the basement. And they get down there and they notice that Doctor Strange has caught Lizard, and now Dr. Octopus is caught, so we got 2 of them. And while in the dungeon, Doctor Strange decides, hey, this is all your fault, Peter, because you kept saying all these things and making all these little asterisks and stuff and changes to my spell when I'm doing the spell. Hold on, no. Stop. Doctor Strange, you're the magic man. You do all the multiverse. Spider-Man just goes really strong, okay? That's on you. That's on you, Doctor Strange, okay? If at some point you couldn't figure out what was going on because he kept changing, you had to go, stop, rewind. I can't handle 2 things at one time. That's like with me, when I'm talking to somebody on the phone and somebody comes up to me and starts talking, hey man, do you think you could do this? Hold on, give me 1 second. Stop, okay? Stop. I'm on the phone with this person. I can't talk to 2 people at one time. You have to stop, okay? Give me 30 seconds, finish this conversation with this person, and then I'll get to you. That's what Doctor Strange should have done with Spider-Man. When he's just like, oh, well, can you do this and then do that? And then, stop. Get rid of that spell. Okay, what do you want? Okay, you want everyone to forget that you're Spider-Man, except who? Okay, Happy, Aunt May, Ned, MJ, anybody else? Anybody else? This is it, final, okay? Doctor Strange, throw me in there too, so when I show up, you're not like, oh, are you selling cookies at my house? No, because I'll kick you out, okay? So you get a list of all the people that you want to remember you, and you get rid of everyone else. It's simple. It's simple. But I get it. If you hadn't done this, you wouldn't have a movie, but it doesn't make any sense. And then Doctor Strange gives us this little thing so he can go around and capture all the bad guys and throw them in the little dungeon thing. So then he goes and meets Electro and Sandman. tries to capture them, catches them. Then Peter Parker gets a call from his Aunt May saying, the Green Goblin's here. And he's like, oh no! Rushes over to get to her, and he gets there, and it's just him just like a junkie, just, I don't know who I am. And then sometimes he'll take control, and I don't remember anything. And then he's like, I gotta get him and the other people and get him out of here. Aunt May doesn't even know what's going on, but meanwhile, somehow she's the all-knowing person. He's like, I gotta get him back in the other universes. And she's like, no, you're just saying that because it's easier for you. Hey, man, these are bad guys. We gotta get them out of here. We're not here to save everybody, okay? Guess what? If they stick around, some good people might die in the future. Then they go back to the basement, and at some point, they all realize, like, oh, wait, I got teleported here right before I died, which doesn't make any sense because they teleported right here, and then right when they were going to kill Spider-Man, and they were like, they had him in his clinches, and then all of a sudden they disappear right here. Like, that doesn't click with anybody. They're like, you're about to kill him, and all of a sudden you disappear. You're like, wait, where am I? What's going on here? It's just, what? And then Doctor Strange shows up again. I guess he's out doing Doctor Strange stuff. And he shows up and he has the little thing holding a spell and a little contraption so it can't get out and kill everybody and get all crazy. And then in a matter of 5 seconds, 5 minutes, no time, Spider-Man's like, hey, we have to save these people. They're good people too. What? What? The bad guys are good guys now. No, there's no, you don't get a second chance if you killed that many people. I don't care who you are. There's just 8 people. Dr. Octopus has killed many people. Just like, oh, well, that's nothing. We got to save them. No, they're bad guys. There's a reason why we have to arrest bad guys. Because they're bad guys. You can't just have compassion for all the bad guys, because guess what happens? When you have compassion for bad guys, the good guys suffer. So then Spider-Man grabs a little contraption, tries to take off because he doesn't want Doctor Strange to send them back to where they're supposed to go, where they're going to die, like bad guys are supposed to do. And he takes off, and then Doctor Strange grabs him, and he does a little poof and punches him, and Spider-Man's like out of his body, and he's just kind of floating above there, and then Doctor Strange goes to grab the contraption, but for some reason, Spider-Man's still able to go and keep it from Doctor Strange. I don't know if it's because of his spidey senses or what. They didn't explain it. Once again, there's just no explanation as to why he's able to do that. It's just a he still can't get it. And then Spider-Man swims back into his body and takes off. Now you got Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man and what he calls the mirror dimension, or what I'm calling Inception 2.0, because just the buildings are folding and flapping in on themselves. Have you ever seen Inception? It doesn't make any sense. That's exactly what's going on here. Things like the buildings are rising up, the ground's going down, just all kinds of angles. I'm going to throw up over here. And before it's all over, Spider-Man does some math in his head real quick, figures out, and then webs up Doctor Strange and leaves him there. And he's like, I got to go save him. And then jumps through the little hole. It closes. So Doctor Strange is left there. Okay. So Peter Parker shows back up at the dungeon with all the bad guys. And he says, hey, all you guys are about to die in the multiverse and whatever universe you were from right before you came here. We're going to fix you, send you back, and then you don't die. I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to try to figure that out. We're all going to work on the same team. Except, Electro's already like, all right, well, if this doesn't work, I'm going to fry you from the inside out. Hold on. Pump the brakes. What did you just say? I said I'm going to fry you from the inside out. All right, he's got to go now. He's not on our team. If you were in a war and you had all your guys in the military and you're in the foxhole, one guy's like, all right, if anything goes bad, I'm going to start shooting you guys. Okay, you tell the guy right next to him, okay, you take him, you kill him right now. You just shoot him right in the head. You don't even tell the guy. I take it back. You don't tell the guy next to him. You do it. If you're the captain, I don't care if you're the lowest guy. If someone's like, I want to kill everybody, you got to go. I can't be relying on you if you're at any point you're going to start killing me. Bye. That's what they should have done with Electro right there. That should have been a clear enough sign that like these are bad guys. That's what they're called, bad guys. You can't deal with them because they're bad guys. Just kill them there. Oh, and as a little side thing, you got Jamie Foxx doing the worst acting he's ever done. I've never been a big Jamie Foxx fan, but in this movie, it looked like he was trying to be like super cool. He was trying to be Denzel Washington, and you're not Denzel Washington. You're Jamie Foxx, okay? That's two different people. That's fine being Jamie Foxx. Be Jamie Foxx, but you're not Denzel Washington. So Peter Parker takes all the bad guys to Happy's apartment because he has some technology there from Iron Man that he can hopefully figure out a way to solve and fix them. He does that with Dr. Octopus. He puts a chip on the back of his neck. Dr. Octopus is now a good guy. Yay! Then he figures out a way to suck the energy and electricity from Electro. So yay, we got two bad guys down. But then all of a sudden his spidey senses start going, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, clink, Green Goblin is back. And then Green Goblin says, oh, we're already where we get to take. And then he's able to just make Electro decide, you know what, I do want to be a bad guy. Pulls the thing off his chest. He's back to being a bad guy. Once again, should have killed him from the first point. Just should have sent him back or left him in that little cellar in the dungeon. That's on you, Spider-Man. There's these superheroes. They don't have common sense. They've never lived life. They're just kind of, oh, everybody's good. Everybody's good. Not everybody's good, okay? There's a lot of bad people out there, and we got to get rid of them. But we giving bad guys second chances, releasing them out on the streets. Okay, so when he does that, we got Green Goblin's back, Electro's back, and Electro's like, I liked you how you used to be to Dr. Octopus. Zaps him, apparently turns Dr. Octopus back into a bad guy. Cool, now we're back to zero. We got no good guys on our side. Then Sandman's like, I'm out of here. Splits. When apparently the only thing he wants to do is see his daughter. You're not going to do that in this universe. You have to work with Spider-Man to go back. But you disappearing isn't going to get you there any closer. That's like me saying, man, I really want to see my dad. I'm going to space. My dad's not in space. I'm not going to see my dad if I go to space. Where is the logic? There's none. So now you got Peter Parker versus Green Goblin because everybody else went and left. So they're fighting each other. Then Aunt May gets into the mix. She gets hit by Green Goblin's glider. Then a bomb blows up. And they still have a conversation. She's basically the female John Wick. She's Jane Wick. There's nobody on the planet that could take a direct hit from Green Goblin's glider and then get a bomb blow up and then be like, oh yeah, don't worry. With great responsibility comes great power. I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. I got it mixed up because I'm a little lightheaded right now. No, and then she dies. Of course she dies. You asked for that, Spider-Man, by giving all these bad guys second chances. I told you, good people are going to die when you give bad people a second chance. Here you go. You asked for it. You went to Burger King and said, I want a Whopper. They gave you a Whopper. That's your Whopper right there. That's all I got to say about that. Now you got MJ and Ned just chilling at Ned's house, just really sad. Like, I wonder where Spider-Man is, a.k.a. Peter Parker. And then Ned's like, I wish we could see him. And all of a sudden, a little spark shows up. Huh? And then MJ's like, do that again. He's like, I wish we could see Peter Parker. And all of a sudden, shoo, a whole big thing shows up. So yeah, Ned's got magic powers now. He's basically Wong or Doctor Strange. No explanation for that. Then Spider-Man runs through the portal, and then we realize, oh, it's Andrew Garfield. Everybody's like, yeah! I'm like, I mean, we knew this was going to happen. I didn't even watch trailers for it because I knew it was going to be spoilers. No one, once again, the last 3 to 6 months has been Spider-Man, just Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Of course they're going to have him in there. Then they're like, are you really Spider-Man? He jumps up, touches the wall. Then his grandma freaks out because of people coming through portals. That's the only logical part. I'd be like, what's going on here? And they tell him to go get the cobweb. He gets the cobweb, jumps down. Okay. Ned does the wish we could see Peter Parker thing a second time. And then all of a sudden, some older guy comes through, a.k.a. Tobey Maguire. He hasn't aged too well. And they're like, oh, it's just some random weird guy. So then you have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield looking at each other. And Tobey Maguire's like, that's not your friend. And all of a sudden, they do backflips and they shoot web at each other and like, oh, wait, oh, you're Spider-Man. And you're Spider-Man. And like, why didn't you tell us you're Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire's like, oh, well, I don't really introduce myself as Spider-Man. But you just web slung in front of strangers when they didn't know you were Spider-Man. Your logic is gone. Once again, if you were really Spider-Man, you wouldn't be, and you're trying to keep yourself undercover, you wouldn't be like, web slinging because like, hey, that only Spider-Man does that. So now they know. So your logic of being inconspicuous is horrible. So then they all go and find the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man and say, hey, basically they have like a touching moment like, hey, don't get revenge because I got revenge and then it didn't help me. So Tom Holland's like, hey man, I don't care. He killed my Aunt May. I'm killing Green Goblin. Then they go back to Happy's apartment and start working on some antidotes. There's some funny back and forth with all the Peter Parkers, and there's some confusion, you know. Peter Parker, no, Peter Parker, no, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, whatever. And meanwhile, they're working on the antidotes to save those 4 bad guys. But in the meantime, those 4 bad guys are roaming around, causing chaos, killing God knows how many people. But hey, we don't care about those innocent people. We only care about those 4 bad guys' lives, okay? Their 4 bad guy lives are worth way more than innocent people's lives who have done nothing to be killed. I'm sorry, what? Then the Spider-Mans decide, let's go fight them at the Statue of Liberty, which they were building the Captain America shield on it, which was kind of a cool touch. They go there, they start fighting, they start getting their butts kicked because they're used to fighting individually, and then Spider-Man Tom Holland, Spider-Man #1, has to decide, hey, we got to work as a team. And again, while they're fighting, Electro makes some kind of comment like, no, none of us are going back home, speaking to Sandman. So you're not on Sandman's side, and you're not on Peter Parker's side. He does not get along with others. And at that point, Sandman should have been, click, okay, Electro's not on my side. I should be working with Spider-Man because he's the only one trying to get me back. But at no point does it click and go, oh, this is what I should be doing. No, Sandman fights him to the bitter end until they go throw the thing and turn him into a regular person. But it wasn't anything because of Sandman helping. He's a moron. So Sandman, he's out of the picture. He's no longer fighting. Good, we got one down finally. Thank the good Lord. In this horrible battle, we were losing. Then Dr. Octopus shows up while Electro is zapping to the Spider-Man, just cooking them like they're bugs caught in a bug zapper. At this point, you could smell bacon. Especially if it was Spider Pig, you definitely smell bacon. Then Dr. Octopus shows up out of nowhere and grabs the 2 Spider-Mans, and then he goes and grabs Electro, pulls the thing out of his chest. So I guess he's a good guy. He didn't get zapped and fried when Electro zapped him earlier. He just disappeared. I don't where he went. Was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy? There's no explanation. We don't know why he did the good thing at all. And then Doctor Strange shows up finally. So Ned and MJ are explaining to Doctor Strange, no, hold on, wait, don't send him back yet. Peter Parker's plan's working. He's like, I'll be danged. It is working. You're saving the bad guys. And then Jamie Foxx is just chilling on the side, and then Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man shows us like, are you good? You good, Max? You good? Are you okay? Like, are we cool? And then Jamie Foxx, of course, is like, yeah, man, you were from Queens. You had that suit, something else. Like, I thought you were black. Of course. It's always a race thing with this guy. Always. Then Green Goblin shows up. Of course. He's got the worst timing ever. Puts a bomb inside the little contraption thing that's going to send him back. Doctor Strange and everybody's blast back. MJ's like, falling in slow motion. Tom Holland jumps to try to save her, and then Green Goblin intercepts him, hits him, and Tom Holland's like, hey, where's my girl? And then Andrew Garfield's like, I gotta save her. He jumps down, he saves her, holding her in his hands like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm good. Then he has a mental breakdown because, of course, his girl he couldn't save in time, and she died. So I have to admit, that was a touching moment. Then at this point, the universe has just had it. It's just too much stuff going on. You see the universe, the sky start ripping. You got Doctor Strange like trying to hold together like he did in Endgame. We're just like, please, it's too much. Now we have the final fight scene between Peter Parker and Green Goblin. At this point, Peter Parker wants to kill Green Goblin. Why? Because he killed Aunt May. Now, we can argue until we're blue in the face that Aunt May, Peter Parker, and Green Goblin are responsible for Aunt May dying. But if you're not on with that decision and that idea yet, then there's no convincing you. Okay? That's just what I believe. I think they're all 3 responsible for Aunt May dying. Because they wanted to give bad guys hope and give them a second chance. And sometimes bad guys just need to die. So they go back and forth. Peter Parker's about to kill his Green Goblin with his own glider. He's about to stab it down into his chest or his face or I don't know where. Just, and also right when he does, Tobey Maguire jumps out of nowhere, holds the glider, and just looks at him with his eyes and says, no, revenge is not the answer. You got to let him live. And they throw it off to the side, and right when he does it, they're like, all right, cool. Tobey Maguire gets stabbed in the back by Green Goblin. Spoiler alert, somehow he doesn't die, apparently. I don't know how you can be a bad guy and stab someone in the back and not kill him, but congratulations, Green Goblin, you did it. Then they throw the cure, into the neck. Ouch, that kind of hurt. And then Green Goblin's cured. He's like, Peter, what did I do? You killed people, okay? Because you're a psychopath. Now all the bad guys are no longer bad guys. They're cool. We're all good. And they cut to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange once again like, I wish you'd hurry up and help me fix my mistake. Come on, we got to send them all back. And Tobey Maguire has the idea like, what if everyone just forgets me? Doctor Strange's like, well, if we do that, then everyone will forget you. Everyone you know and love will forget who you are. Tom Holland is like, yeah, maybe that's what we have to do. And Doctor Strange's like, all right, kid, say your goodbyes. Then Peter has to go over and meet Ned and MJ real quick. And like, are you good? You're good? Yeah. And she's like, she got a cut across her face and say, oh yeah, no, I'm okay. Then he has to tell them bad news. Hey, all these people are coming after me, so everyone's going to forget who I am, including you. And then Ned and MJ are like, what? But there's got to be a better way. There's got to be another way. And like, no, that's the only way. But don't worry, I'll come find you. And then somehow I explain to you that you don't know me and you never know who I was, but I had to play an important part of your life, even though there's going to be gaps in your life where it doesn't make any sense. I'm guessing this is heaven logic, because apparently when you get to heaven, it's going to be great and you're going to love everything and everything's going to be great, but you're not going to realize that family members and people you love and care about are burning in hell forever. That's the same logic, I guess, right there. And then Ned's like, okay. And MJ's like, I love you. And then Peter's about to say, I love you too. She's like, shh, shh, tell me when you find me. Okay. So then Spider-Man web slings off and then cut to, I don't know how long after, but then shows Peter Parker walking down the street in the snow, goes to a coffee shop, goes in there. Of course, MJ's there, and he's going to explain to her. He's got a note. He says, I'm going to explain to you who I am, Peter Parker, and all this stuff. And then she waves, but she's waving at Ned, who's behind him, and Ned goes over there. I would have bet so much money that they were going to have Ned and MJ be a couple, and I'd have been like, oh no, they're in love. But that's not what they did. Then Peter goes up to MJ and says, my name's Peter Parker, and he's about to say his letter like, oh, and I'm the love of your life and all this other stuff. But he pauses and like, and I would like some coffee. She's like, okay, Peter Parker, I'll get you your coffee. She walks over to Ned and she's like talking about MIT. She's excited about going there. And he's like, oh, you got school spirit, because she's very, very emo and like, oh, I don't like stuff. She's like, yeah, but if you tell anybody, I'll deny it. Then she walks over to Peter Parker. It's like, here's your coffee. He's like, oh, you're excited about MIT? She goes, yeah, I am. I'm usually not. You just defy what you just said 5 seconds ago. We're like, oh, if you tell anybody, I'm going to deny it. Now she's ever telling strangers, like, oh, yeah, I'm excited about MIT. No logic. Peter tries to bond with her because she's like, oh, well, if you're disappointed, if you always expect disappointment, and he's like, then you'll never be disappointed. She's like, whoa, how did this guy know what I was going to say? You start to see him kind of like, she's like, do I know you? And then he's like, all right, well, I got to go. And then takes off. Then he goes to see Aunt May's headstone where she was buried. And Happy shows up. Of course, Happy doesn't know who he is. And they had like a little moment like, all right, it's nice meeting you. All right, bye. That was kind of sad because they had that whole back and forth chemistry. And now, but they don't have that anymore because no one knows who he is. He's just a random person. Then he goes, gets his own apartment. I don't know how that's possible because he's got no paperwork or no sign of being alive, because apparently no one knows who he was. Like, so no one knows who you were. No one has any memories of you, but you still got a record of being at school and stuff. Once again, doesn't make any sense. Then at the end credit scenes, it shows Venom in Mexico, and he's just kind of like trying to figure out how to go find Spider-Man, but he doesn't do anything in the entire movie, and then he gets zapped away, but a little bit of symbiote gets left there, so maybe they'll do a fourth Spider-Man with Tom Holland. I don't know, and have a black suit Spider-Man. We don't know, we'll have to wait and see. And then the final credit scene was the new Doctor Strange and the Multiverse, crazy wackiness, whatever movie they're going to come out with. I can't even begin to understand what they're going to do with that thing. It's just going to be just a hodgepodge of just no logic and confusion and chaos, and just like, here you go, here's your Doctor Strange movie. This isn't what I ordered. This is pizza. I ordered a cheeseburger, but okay. Just doesn't make any sense, but oh man, this movie was so chaotic. Once again, if you've seen it, you understand. If you've seen it, you don't understand. Good for you, because it just went right over my head. Just like the movie Inception. It just didn't make any sense to me. Just like, what did I just watch? in the end, we learned that we don't need to worry about what happens to good guys. We need to worry about what happens to bad guys. Give them second chances, no matter how many people they've killed. And if you get your shot, aka vaccine, everything will be okay. It's not a liberal movie at all. No kind of a hidden agenda at all. Just a regular movie. Don't look at the details. Just enjoy it. But that is it. I hope everybody enjoyed this video more than I enjoyed Spider-Man. Because I thought it was weird. That's it. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, and as always, I do appreciate it greatly. Until next time, peace.